Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show, to the AI Leverage Lab. My name is Sen Emrich, and in this tutorial video today, I will show you how to build a nice little AI CRO audit agent. So a AI CRO audit. So CRO is for the conversion rate optimizer audit. And what is that for? Now, basically, you might be building a lot of little landing pages lately because you're using Lovable, you're using V0, you're using Cursor, and for all your tools and for all those services that you might be experimenting with and building MVPs, you're building landing pages, and it's really helpful to have an audit on those landing pages, for those landing pages, to really understand how well optimized they are, because you might not be getting the results that you want simply because the landing page is not optimized for conversions and not the tool that you're trying to promote. What we do here, we have a little N8N setup, a little N8N workflow setup, and it starts with a form trigger where we enter our form or URL from the page that we're trying to audit. That URL is going together with an email that the report is being sent to, and the little simple form description here is that it's for a landing page audit, so please enter your details here. Now from here, it fetches the code from the HTML code from the page with a simple HTTP request node. It has a true-false node here to see if it's a valid code on the page. If it's not a valid code, it sends out an error notice via a Gmail node, and if it's correct, then it's going to the actual audit tool, and that audit tool has a long expression here, the long prompt that mostly consists of an example of how the result should look like of the resulting report, and it only says, hey, separate the analysis of the conversion rate optimization into a couple different parts. So first of all, roast the page that you're analyzing in a humorous way, and then give out some recommendations, and if possible, do some A/B testing, some quick wins that the user could try, and then send the whole thing out via Gmail. Now let's actually do this and try this, and let's actually do it with one of the most looked at landing pages in the whole World Wide Web, which is alexhormozisacquisition.com landing page for $100 million offers. So we're just going to take the URL of this page here. So clear winning landing page, which he, I'm sure, has tried many times to optimize and look at, and yeah, he's done his fair share of analysis. So let's click on the form button to start the execution, and we enter our URL and the email that we want to send the report to. Click submit, close this, and there we go. Now it's already fetched the HTML. So in here we only have the HTTP request node with the get method. It takes the URL from the form that we entered. That's basically it. You don't have to do anything else. It outputs the data, which is the content in code form from the page. So you see it's a long code. That is actually an important part, because if you use certain OpenAI models, they will struggle with the context window, because the context window in many of the models is fairly limited. So in this one, we're using GPT 4.1 mini, which is enough for most pages. If you use 4.0 mini, it's probably going to struggle. It's going to give you an error. If you're using if you're going to use GPT-5 or others, it's going to take a long time. So 4.1 mini is this jack of all trades tool model, basically, that you can use for many purposes. And now what we see is the JSON data, the whole code has been forwarded to ChatGPT. It's all in here, and together, of course, with the rules and the tasks at hand. Now taking those 3 tasks on to roast it, to give the recommendations and have a little quick wins. And what we receive is here our returning report. So this is the CRO audit for the shop.acquisition.com, blah, 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 with a little roast. And there it goes. Yeah. I've got the best offer around, but somehow whispers make me work for it. So let's be real, headline packs a punch with $100 million, and so on and so forth. And then it actually takes on those 10 CRO recommendations that you can look at and go through. And this is important for yourself to approach the conversion rate, of course, for yourself, but also if you work with clients, and you want them to maybe have a little look at what you improved on their page, or you want to give them as a kind of a lead generator, lead magnet tool, you want to give them access to your CRO analyzer. You set this up in such a way that it gets out all the problems that the client has on their page, and thereby then prompt them to have a little call to action and ask you for advice and for your consultation, of course. So you have this whole report in here, the optional A/B test ideas, and that is all that is being done with that simple AI agent node. Again, this is with the GPT 4.1 mini, and in the Gmail node here, we simply have the Gmail node set up with a Gmail OAuth authentication. As I usually say, I'm not going into details on how to set these up with Google. You have all those setups in Google Console, and you can set them up, and you'll find a million explanations on how to set these up online by now. Just take a look at that. What is important to mention is right now this tool only works on the basis of the audit from ChatGPT. Of course, you can expand this analysis, I would say, with, for example, on-page analytics API by the tool like Data for SEO, which is a great service that is only making you pay as you go and only for what you're really using, whereas there are other services that are much more expensive and that you might not need at all, but that could be a great addition into if you really wanted to analyze a page in more depth. Also, what you could do is you could use the Page Insights API from Google itself, could include that in the analysis, and also then get that inside the report. So have another node in here that aggregates all the detailed information into one final report. Otherwise, this for the beginning will be completely sufficient to give a little first impression on how the result looks. Yeah, so be highly specific, avoid generic tips, assume certain audiences, and then give that out as a finished report, right? It takes the subject line from the original form trigger, from the URL page, as well as the email, sends that out as an HTML to the email that the user put in the first form trigger. So that is the nice little tool for today. Not too much to add, but a lot to play around, and a very helpful tool, I would say, for all these cases where you need a little lead gen that automatically provides value to your clients, especially if you want to get some discussion, some conversation rolling. Now, if you want more of this, we do have not only our YouTube channel, we do have our school community here, the AI Leverage Lab. If you want to not only build this every once in a while, but you actually want to grow, you want to become an AI transformation expert, you want to help clients on a really paid way, so you might need to make a professional impression, then join the community. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. It's the spot to learn and grow together if you mean it more than just as a hobby. And if the video provided some value to you, then bam, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want more of this. And we'll meet again in another video in the next couple of days. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.